Join me as we crochet this handy dandy handbag. I'm using the Bernard Maker. This is gray color. It's a cotton and nylon combination, and a red, and a size 6.5 millimeter hook. You're also going to need a button and a crochet needle. Let's begin by making a slip knot. To do that, wrap it around your 2 fingers, tuck it through the yarn, insert your crochet hook, remove your fingers, and just simply pull. And then tighten. Now we're going to begin by making a chain. And for those of you who don't know how to make a chain, you simply yarn over and pull through. So that counted as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I've casted on 25. So now we're ready to begin our stitch. So don't count this one here, but if you count your stitch 1 here, so if you count your chain backwards, you'll see there's the first one from the hook, it's here, the second one from the hook is here. So we want to insert our crochet hook into the second one from the hook, yarn over, pull through 1, you should have 2 loops on, yarn over, pull through 2. It's called a single crochet, and that's what we want to do all along. Okay, so into our chain stitch, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, and pull through both. So continue doing your single crochet all the way to the end of the row. I'm near the end, and as you can tell, I have 1 more stitch here, and in here I want to put 3 single crochets. So there's 1, into the same stitch, put another one, there's 2, and the third one, and there's 3. And what that did, that brought us around. So now I'm just going to pull this like that, and you can say that what it did, it just brought us around like that, because that's what we want to do. So now in here you'll see there's a little V here. In here I'm going to go right under the V right there, and I'm going to put in my single crochet. So now we're just going to go straight along here and put in your single crochet. So the way to do it is, if you look at this, you'll see, but you have to pull it apart, there's spaces underneath. So you can see there's a space here, space there, space here. So this is where you want to put in your single crochet. So there's my first space. It's just a lot easier to see this way if you go under there. So keep doing that till you get to the end of the row. Coming near the end, as you can tell, I got 1 more here. Put it in here, and now I'm into my turnaround. So I'm going to go right in here into the space in the turnaround, and I'm going to put 3 single crochets just like we did on that side to match it. So we go 1, 2, 3 into the same one, and that brought me all the way around. So finishing this pattern, all we have to do is go into this next, the first V, and we slip stitch to join. So this time we're not going to yarn over and pull through, we're just going to straight pull through. Okay, and that completes our first row. So now it's easier because now you actually can see the V's, and we are going to chain 1, so chaining 1. So now to mark our work, we're going to take a different yarn. Okay, here's a piece of red. I'm just going to put it right behind there, and that would just makes it easier when I go around so I don't make the mistake. Pull it up, you'll see this was my first, so now I'm going to go into my second one. There's my V, so I can pull it up. So there's my stitch, so I slip stitch to join, chain 1, marked it, and here's my first V. So I'm just going to do my single crochet there, and now you go under the V's. So on to my next V. So much easier when the V's are there. So keep going under the V's, doing your single crochet all the way to the end of the row. Okay, so I'm coming near my turnarounds. I have one more stitch to do right in there. Okay, so here's my 3 stitches I did, 1, 2, 3, and now we have to do to make our turn, because now we're bigger, we have to double that. So going into my first, do my first of the 3, I'm going to do my 1, and into the same stitch I'm going to put in 1 more single crochet. Okay, my second stitch in my turnaround, putting in 1 and another one right in that same one. Okay, as you can tell, I'm coming around now, and into my last one, putting in 1 and into the same one more time. And this, see how nicely that turned us around? That turned us around beautifully. Okay, so now we just go do a single crochet all the way till the end of the row. So there's my first one. I'm coming near the end on this side, so I have 1 more stitch here. Okay, so here's my turnaround. There's the 3 stitches I did, and just like the other side, we have to match it. So I have to put in 2 single crochets into that same space. So into the same space, I'm going to put another one now. This is my 2, my turnaround. So in here, put a 1 and another one into the same space. And if you go on the third one right here, the third one, I'm putting in 1 and into the same space my second one. And that turned me around, and see how easy it is when there's a marker. All I have to do is go where my marker is and slip stitch to join. Now I can remove my marker, and that completes our bottom. We're chaining on the outside, so we're going to chain 1. So if you pull this up, you'll see this is my stitch here. I chained up 1, and if you look here, there's my V's. So we want to go right in here and then hook on the outside. This is where you want to be crocheting. Okay, so I'm going to just go ahead and put my marker back in there, just because it makes it easier when we come around. So now when we do a round, we don't have to increase anymore. We just go straight into every V all the way around, only once. Okay, so going into my first one, I'm putting in my stitch, into the second one, the second one, into the third one. So keep doing this right on the edge, the outside, right in there, all the way till you get to the end, and in the corners just once. You don't have to go twice. So I made it all the way around. I got 1 more to go before my slip stitch to join this, and now it's easy. Just gonna go right where my marker is and slip stitch to join. Remove my marker. So that gets us all the way around, and we're going to chain 1 and put our marker back in. So we go under the V's this time. So under both. Okay, so there's the V. So we go under the V's now. Okay, so all the way around, and then when you get to the end, you slip stitch to join, chain 1, and you keep doing this until you reach the desired height. Now take your red yarn. I finished 8 rows, and now I'm just about to slip stitch to join. I inserted my crochet hook, but I did not pull through. Normally I would just yarn over and pull through, but I'm going to take my red yarn and find an end there, pinch off an eye, insert my crochet hook there, and pull through both. And that's how we're going to finish that part. Tighten everything. You always have to tighten everything in the back. Now you can pick up your red yarn and yarn over and pull through. Now if you look in the back, you'll still have the gray one there. So what you want to do is you want to take your scissors and cut the gray one. And now you have your 2 loose ends. Tie your loose ends together with a simple knot. Now pick up your red yarn and yarn over and pull through. So chain 1 basically. And now we're going to do the crisscross. So we're going to skip the first one and go into the second one. To the second one, you're going to yarn over, insert your crochet hook under the V, yarn over, pull through. Yarn over, pull through all 3. That's called a half double. So let's do that again. So yarn over, but this time we're going to go to the one we missed. So look for the V, the one you missed. Underneath should be in between there. There it is. So insert your crochet hook in there. Yarn over, pull through. Yarn over, pull through all 3. So there's your little crisscross. So let's do that again. Skip one into the second one. Yarn over, insert your crochet hook. Yarn over, pull through. Yarn over, pull through all 3. Yarn over, go to the one you missed. Insert your crochet hook. Yarn over, pull through. Yarn over, pull through all 3. So keep doing this crisscross half double stitch all the way to get to the end of the row. Okay, slip stitch to join. So if you look at here, there's the V, so you want to go underneath there. So this is where I want to slip stitch to join. Okay, so I'm going to chain 2. Okay, so now we're going to do a half double all the way across under every V. So if you pull this up, you will see that this one already has into this V. It's already this one, so this will be our first V. Okay, so you're going to have 2 if you look at this pattern. You're going to have one underneath your X and one in between. One on top, one in between. So first of all, we're going to go on top. So always under the V. So always under the V. So there it is. The next one will be in that space. But you don't go underneath, you go in between, right? So there's the V and there's a little line, so you're going to go right in there. And the next one will be on top, so there's my V right there. So I've come to the end of the row. As you can tell, I have one more space there, so I'm going to do my half double right in there. And slip stitch to join, never in here, always on top. So look for that first V, which should be right above your stitch. So if you count the chain 1, 2, it should be right there. And perfect. Now chain 2 and your first V is here, because this one doesn't count because it's part of this. So there's my first, and carry on and do this stitch all the way for the next couple of rows, and when you get to the end, always slip stitch to join, chain 2, and carry on. I did 10 rows. Now I'm going to cut my yarn and yarn over and pull through and tighten. Now find an edge, insert your crochet hook. I didn't go on the turn, I went just before it. Take your yarn, pinch it, insert your crochet hook into the eye, pull through, and yarn over, and pull through both through the loops. So turn your work around, make sure you tighten everything. I'll pick up your yarn and chain 2. So 1, 2. Now we're going to do the half double crochet, the same that we've been doing. So you want to do your half double crochet all the way along until the next turnaround. So after 28 stitches, I've come to the corner and I stopped just before the turn because I don't want to go there. So now I'm going to turn my work around and chain 2. And now I'm going to go into the first V, which is right underneath there. So you have to get in there and do another half double crochet, because if you don't, it's not going to be straight. So keep doing your half double all the way to the end. And so I'm coming near the end. As you can tell, this is my last V. But do you see this little chain 2 that we did? We have to get in there. So let's do our stitch right in there. Because if you don't, it's going to slope. So this makes it straight. Okay, so turning your work around. So keep doing that for a total of 4 rows. Chain 2 and half double crochet till the end of the row. When you get to the end of the row, turn your work around and carry on. Okay, so I have one more to do in my chain 1. So now, before I yarn over and pull through, I'm going to switch my yarn. So I'm going to take my red, pinch off a bit of it, put my crochet hook in the eye, and I'm going to pull. There. Now I got to tighten everything. Okay, so I hold my 2 reds and I yarn over and I chain 1 with both of them, because that what secures that end piece. Now I'm going to cut my gray. Flip my work over, and there's my red and my gray. And remember how we did it before? Just going to tie it, and we're going to weave all the stuff in. All the loose ends will get weaved in later. That just kind of tightens it. There, and we are ready to begin. Chain 1. I'm going to skip 2, so there's 1, 2, and into the third one we're going to put 5 double crochets. To do a double crochet, yarn over, insert your crochet hook, yarn over, pull through. You should have 3 on. Yarn over, pull through 2. You should have 2 on. Yarn over, pull through 2. So let's do that again. Yarn over, insert your crochet hook, yarn over, pull through, 3 on. Yarn over, pull through, 2 on. Yarn over, pull through the last 2. Okay, so that's 2, so let's do 3 more of those. It's 3, 4, and that's 5. Now skip 2 stitches, and into the third one you want to put in a single crochet. Skip the next 2, and into the third one you want to crochet 5 double crochets. So it's 1, and that's 2, and that's 3, and that's 4, and that's 5. So that's your repeating pattern all the way along the row. So skip 2, put a single crochet into the third one, skip 2, and into the third one put 5 double crochets. So keep doing that to the end. So I'm coming near the end, so I'm just skipping that one, and I have to get right on the edge where we chained up. So even though it's tight, then make sure you always get over 2, never over 1, because you don't want any snags. And I'm going to do a single crochet there. So it's the beginning of our pattern, and now we have to start building our rows on top. So we turn our work around, and let's chain 3. So 1, 2, 3. Now on this side, what we have to do is we have to put half a cluster, which means 3 double crochets. Our chain counted as 1, so we need to put 2 more into the same stitch as your chain 3. So it's 2, and that's 3. So that's how it looks like in the end. So we skip 2, so 1, 2, and at the very top in the third V, we're going to put a single crochet, and now we're going to skip 2 again, 1, 2, and in theirs we want to put in our cluster, our 5 double crochets. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. So now we're going to skip 2, 1, 2, and on top we're going to put a single crochet, and then we're going to skip 2, 1, 2, and in there we're going to put a cluster, which is our 5 double crochets. So right there. So keep doing this all the way to the end of the row. 1, 2, and to my third one I do my single crochet, and now at the very end, into this very last stitch we're gonna have to, well, we did our chain 1, so we're gonna go in here, so we have to do 3 double crochets at the very end into the same stitch. So that's 1, 2, and that's 3, and that creates half a shell. Okay, so now we're going to turn our work around. Okay, so we're going to chain 1, and we're just going to go straight into this space here and put in our cluster. So put in our 5 double crochets, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and then we're going to go skip 2, and on top of our cluster, which is our third, do a single crochet, a cluster in between, single crochet, cluster, single crochet, cluster. Keep doing this all the way to the end of the row. So this is the end of this row, and to finish this row, 1, 2 we skipped, and in the last one, this is where we chain. On the top of this chain, we're just going to have to put 1 single crochet, and that's how we finish this row. So now all you're doing is you're turning your work over and you're repeating rows 1 and row 2. So chaining 3 and then putting 2 more double crochets into that same space as your chain 3. So 1, 2. So that's how we start off this row. And then we skip 2, 1, 2, and on the very top, we put a single crochet, and we skip 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and in here we put in our cluster. So keep doing till the end of the row, and then when you get to the end of the row, you're simply going to put 3 double crochets into the top of your chain space here, and then you turn your work around and you chain 1, and you just repeat that row. So I did 6 rows. Whatever rows you did, make sure you always end up with the one that just has the 1 single crochet at the end, because it makes it looks nicer. So to finish it off, instead of doing a single crochet, I'm just going to slip stitch to join, and that way it just makes it a little bit tighter. And yarn over and pull through. Okay, so now it's time to weave in the ends. So just get the needle in there, and then it's easier to get the yarn into the eye, and then just kind of weave it in. So I look for like the natural little pattern in it so it doesn't interfere, and then you just have to kind of get your needle in there and rethread it a couple of times. So you should go like down a little bit to the side, and whichever way you can get it in there, but you just want to get it in there and weave it in, because then it doesn't come apart. So see how it's naturally curling there? I go over that, and that really helps. It kind of just hides it, and then if it slips out, that's all right. We'll just rethread it. There we go. Just pull a little bit and snip, and it disappears. So you're gonna have to go do this for the gray as well, and then take the red up here and the gray here. Now, so to do this, we're just going to start with a slip knot like we did before. So just wrap it around your fingers, cross it in the back, tuck, insert your crochet hook, remove your fingers and pull. And then pick up your yarn and chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now go ahead and add one more chain for your turnaround. So now if you look at the crochet hook, you want to insert into the second space from the hook. So 1, 2, so in here is where you want to put in your crochet hook and do your single crochet. So now just go along the chain and do 1 single crochet into every stitch until you get to the end. So, and once you get to the end, we're simply going to tighten everything. So we got to pull. We're going to turn around and chain 1. And now if you look at there, don't go into that one, go to the one right after. It looks like the second, but it's really the first. So you should have exactly 4 single crochet stitches after your chains. That was 1, that's 2, and that's 3, and the 4th one is kind of sloped, so always make sure you get that always under the V. There we go. And that's your repeating pattern all the way. All you have to do is turn, chain 1, or chain 1 and turn, and then do your 4 single crochets. So I did about 3 feet, and actually I ran out of my yarn, so I'm just gonna finish it off. And you always finish it off on the side. You just yarn over and pull through. There, now we're ready to sew the strap on. Thread your needle with the red yarn. Okay, so now we're going to be sewing our strap on. So I've weaved in my ends, and open this up, and I'm going to sew about halfway down because we want to make sure these are sturdy. So we'll go to about halfway down and half on each side, so it kind of straddles how you want to sew it. And you want to take your needle and thread, and we're going to be using red. And the reason why we're using red is because this is going to be turned inside out, and when you turn it inside out, it'll be the red here, so we don't want the gray to show. Okay, so now just go ahead and sew. You're going to start up here, and when you're sewing, always make sure that you go over 2, never over 1, because 1 can pull. So always 2, and always 2 on the gray. I'll go over my 2. So now just go in the loop, because what that does, it just gives a little extra support like that. So you want to keep doing this kind of stitch all the way down. For the next one is here. Just to be clear, we don't want to pull anything, so always make sure you look for a nice little neat thing, circle, and you just go over 2, and then you go over 2 on this side. Okay, and then reinsert your crochet hook into the loop, and that gives it a nice little things that we're going to go all the way up. So I've sewn all the way around like this, and now I'm going to go this way. I'm just going to go in this way, but I want to make sure I don't snag anything. So I'm kind of sewing back and forth looking. So when you pull it through, okay, so it's here. Now if you get them far apart, this is what you're going to see on the other side. And you don't want that. You just want, see, like how to be a natural thing, you just go over the one. So if you go over the one, I'll just show you. And then when I pull it, because this is going to be our good side on this side. See? It makes it part of the natural thing. So on this side, it looks like nothing. So I'm just going to go back and forth. There we go. Through here. And just keep an eye on what you're doing. I'm going to tie this off. To do that, I'm just going to hook it up through two of the gray ones. Insert my crochet hook there. I know this is good, and I'm just going to put a knot in it. Just like we do in any other knot. There. And we're done. I'm going to snip off a bit, and I'm going to just weave this little end in with my crochet hook. And whenever you're weaving any kind of end in, always try to use smaller crochet hook. So now that you've got this side done, so just make sure that it's straight, and now you can go ahead and do this side. So I am done with my purse. This is sewn in on both sides. And now what we have to do is turn it inside out. So I would like my purse to be like that. So I'm going to put a button right there. To make it bigger, all we have to do is reinforce it with some more red. So in order to make this hole bigger, what we do is we have to reinforce this on this side because it's already reinforced, and we don't want to work on the outside, we want to work on the inside. So if you look at this, this is reinforced. I put a knot at the end of my needle, and I'm just going to find a tighter fit because I don't want my knot to, so I'm going to go back and forth a few times just to give it that reinforcement. Then put a knot off and weave in your ends. So one thing left to do now that we reinforced our buttonhole, I would like, when this is closed, I would like the bottom to show, because that's what we did the little exos, so it looks pretty. So I want my button to be right there. So now that we have our marker right there, so when I try to sew, I encountered a problem. This won't go through. So I'm going to use my crochet hook. So what I did is just use my hands, feed it through here and here, back halfway, position it right there, remember where we wanted it. And now I'm going to take my crochet hook, I'm going to pull it back here, there's one. And my other one, I just want to go right beside it. There we go. We pull. And then we just simply tie it together. Yes, I double knot it. Make sure it's good. So now I'm going to go back and forth. I'm going to go back and forth a couple of times using my crochet hook. And I'm going to weave in my ends. There. And it's done. Now we can do it up. So always tight it first.